Hello, my name is David Donofrio, and I wanted to take a moment here today to talk about a very pivotal issue in Ohio's future, known as Issue 2 on this fall's ballot, which addresses Substitute Senate Bill 5, the bill that has been receiving a lot of attention across the state over the past year. I wanted to add my opinion to the chorus of voices that you've been hearing. You've been hearing people on both sides of this issue spending millions of dollars sending you mailers, putting things on television, and really mixing together, even quite literally in some points, what different Ohio citizens have been saying about this issue. So I wanted to address you as someone who has worked in the public sector as well as the private sector. I want to address you as someone who has worked in the Ohio General Assembly, and most of all, most importantly, someone who has actually read all of Senate Bill 5. Given that, here's my opinion on this issue. This issue truly comes down to the fabric of who we are as Ohioans and what we stand for. It comes down to whether we remember our history as a state or whether we simply move forward for the sake of convenience or scoring political points. Issue 2 affects our public workers, and it does things like replace pay schedules and other things that public workers have come to rely on for making the choice to serve with something called merit-based or merit-only. As someone who has read this bill, merit-only and merit-based are mentioned over 200 times and never once defined. And this strikes me as concerning because we have some of the best public workers working, especially here in Central Ohio. We have some of the top-tier teachers, top-tier firefighters, police officers, nurses, and other public workers. They have made a choice in their life, a conscious choice, to give up the extra salaries and bonuses of the private sector and all of the extra benefits that that brings because they felt that service should be their direction. They wanted to serve their fellow man, and they didn't do it for the big money. They didn't do it for the amazing benefits or things like that. And as someone who, for example, used to work for the Ohio General Assembly, I can tell you, for example, that those state workers, like myself who used to work there, made 50th out of 50 states legislative employees. So we need to keep this in perspective. And this is not about what any other state is doing. I think all of that is a red herring. This is about Ohio, and this is about Buckeye Pride and who we've always been. Let's remember where we've come from as communities. Our communities were founded, particularly here in Central Ohio, because we wanted to create great futures for our children. We wanted safe streets, safe communities, and the best possible start for young families. That's why families like mine located in Dublin, because my parents cared enough about me as I was born to give me the best possible start. And they knew that in a community like Dublin, they would be able to have the top-tier services and the top-tier schools that were going to allow me to succeed. And I'm ever grateful for them for making that choice. And as a byproduct of that, I'm so grateful to all of the police and fire who made sure that they didn't have to worry when I went on my own or with my friends on Beggars Night, which is coming up soon. I'm grateful to the teachers, particularly in the Dublin schools, who taught me for so many years and gave me a world-class education right here in Ohio. The reason that our teachers and our firefighters and our police officers stay here and invest here is because they know that they are going to be respected by given things like a public pension. They're going to be given things like a pay schedule. A pay schedule is very important because you can invest in a district or invest in your department knowing that the more years that you give and the longer that you serve, you're going to be rewarded for that service. And I think that's extremely critical. let's remember that before all of the big businesses and the capital investment came, particularly to our areas here in Central Ohio, they were preceded by these amazing schools and amazing public services. These amazing schools and public services go to the heart of who we are as a state, and particularly who we are as a region. So I want to reach out to all Ohioans, but particularly those in Central Ohio. Those who located here for a reason, who know that they or their families located here to give our children the best possible start, to ensure that our families are going to be safe, and therefore, from those great public services, we are able to springboard into bringing capital investment and bringing jobs. And isn't that what we need to be focused on anyway as a state? That needs to be our #1 priority. And any issue that is taking away from workers or taking away incentive to be in Ohio is completely counter to what we should be working toward. That is why voting no on issue 2 this November is so critical. I don't often create a video like this that is for or against a certain issue or a particular cause like this. But this is so pivotal for Ohio's future, and everyone needs to understand that we have a stake in this. We can fight and win this together. And this is about Buckeye pride. This is about who we are, why we were founded, why we came here in the first place, and therefore who we want to be. We would do well as a state that has brought innovation and inventions over the years to go back to our roots, understand where we came from. And if we rediscover Ohio's glory days, I know that we can bring Ohio's glory days back once again. So thank you for taking the time to listen today, and I would urge you to most importantly vote, no matter what your position is. But I would encourage you to strongly take a look at voting no on issue 2, because it truly is about Ohio's destiny in the coming years. Thank you very much.